Peace, family. Peace, 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 peace. All right. I hope you guys are having, honey. I just hope you having such an amazing, phenomenal day that, honey, you don't know what's going on. Okay. So, if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Deena Bryant. I do these inspirational videos. Oh, and I do some walking on the side, girl. Okay. So, today's video is about better days. Sunny days are coming. Okay. Listen. You may be going through something, growing through some things, okay? You got to understand sunny days are coming. So I'm going to give you guys a few examples, okay, in my life. It's been times where I did not know what I was going to do, okay? Whether it was me going through a relationship. Honey, you heard what I said, growing through a relationship, okay? So you got to grow through it. Growing through a relationship, whether it was me growing through finances, whatever it is, better days were ahead. The reason why you are stressed out, because you are paying attention to what's currently going on, okay? And some may say, well, Deena, duh, like, how I'm not going to pay attention to what's going on? Like, it's right in my face. I know it's in your face, but that's not your case up in a place, okay? Now, what you give your attention to, that's what grows, okay? And you could connect the dots looking backwards, okay? Steve Jobs said that. We could connect the dots looking backwards, okay? And what I mean by connecting the dots looking backwards, everything that we've been through, that we grew through, things always worked out for us. Listen, if it wasn't for that relationship that you used to be in, honey, you may not be married right now, okay? If it wasn't for that job that you was working at that you hated, okay, it wouldn't be you having your own business right now. If it wasn't for you being on Section 8 and food stamps and government assistance, honey, you would not be a millionaire probably right now. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is all the adversities that you growing through, honey, you gonna get through. Okay, you are going to get through them. I remember in the past, right? Well, actually, I did a story about this, okay, about my lights being cut off before. Honey, I was chasing an illusion, okay, out there chasing an illusion, feeling like somebody got to tell me who I am nowadays. Honey, I be saying I am. Okay. And before we dive any deeper, honey, sounded like Ralph Smart. Before we go into it, remember whatever you say after I am, that's what you become. Okay. And so if your self-esteem is low, this is just a little nugget. Okay. If your self-esteem is low, get in the mirror and I encourage you to start saying I am. Okay, now at first you're not gonna believe it. First you may be like, I don't believe, I'm confident. Honey, you said long enough. You will believe it. Okay, and that is the way to change your self-image. Okay, but getting back to the story. So I was chasing after all these illusions. Okay, feeling like, people had to tell me who I was because evidently, honey, I did not know who I was. Okay, I was very insecure. And so that caused me to do things. And some of the things look like I got to buy stuff in order for me to feel like I'm important. I got to do things in order for me to, feel like I'm loved and, all these different things, right? And I remember the money that I would make from the jobs. Okay, first of all, let's talk about this. Okay, first of all, I was working somewhere I did not want to be. When I first got the job, when you first get the job, you be excited. You be like, oh, girl, I'm working here, got this paycheck coming in. You be excited until you see, in the words of Les Brown, until you see the amount of money that you making and it don't exceed past that, right? And so at first I was excited, but then afterwards, right, I started feeling this void again. I started feeling like, I deserve more from life. Okay. I started feeling like why these certain things were showing up in my life. Didn't understand, honey, that they were showing up because of who I was and what I was creating. Up until that point, honey, I would say God up in the sky, okay, was going to come down and help me. You got to understand you the creator of your reality. Okay. Everything you putting on your plate, honey, that is your plate. And so by me taking accountability and responsibility of saying, well, you know what? But not at that given time. Okay. Let me walk you through the steps. Okay. So me chasing illusions and everything like that, my lights got cut off. Okay. And why my lights got cut off was because I valued other people's opinion more than myself. I valued other people's perception more than I valued my own. And so, since I was willing to value other people's perception on how they seen me and felt about me, I was willing to buy things that, I probably shouldn't have brought, or probably should have brought after I paid the bills. Okay, when it came to that, I was irresponsible because, as a kid, you look at the adults and you see, what they tend to do, right? And you're like, well, this is what works, right? But it's for you to look at your life and see, honey, wait, hold up, that do not work, okay? Because my lights done got cut off, okay? And I was working at the job, okay, as though, I did not want to be there, okay? And it was a few times I was working places that after, I started getting in a groove and then getting the paychecks and stuff. And I started saying it was only a certain amount I was able to make. Right. And then shopping and stuff like that, but still feeling a void, still feeling incomplete. Okay. Because my vice at that time was shopping. Okay, instead of me dealing with my emotions or whatever it is that I was growing through, my vice would be shopping. Okay, and what I started to have to do is to become emotional intelligent and start dealing with my emotions and become aware of the things that was going on in my life. Okay, so if you growing through something, honey, sunny days are ahead. Okay, but one, you have to really change your perception. You have to understand what's showing up in your life. It is not to stop you. It is not to take you out. Okay, it is just to show you what you are putting out into this ether, what you are putting out into this here universe. Okay, if you believe that you deserve more, honey, you gonna look at yourself and you gonna say, this is just a little pebble in the road. Okay, and you're going to keep on going. You're going to keep on pushing yourself. Why? Because you are deserving, because you are worthy. Okay, because that's not into a person like you. Okay, whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is that you're growing through, honey, I guarantee you, the light is at the end of the tunnel. Okay, but you have to see it. You have to use. Now, one of the things my mentor, okay, Bob Proctor, one of the things that he would say was this: you have to use your higher faculties, okay? And as will, reasoning, imagination, intuition, perception. You have to use those higher faculties. Because if you go on based upon what you can see, taste, smell, feel, touch, okay, honey, you're going to be messed up in the game, okay? Because that's not faith. Those five senses, that's not faith, okay? The reason why you getting tripped up is because you like, well, you don't know the numbers. Maybe you just opened your own business. Or maybe you started social media and you like, you don't know the numbers, girl. Honey, don't pay attention to the numbers. Pay attention to your message. Pay attention to your message that you conveying. Don't get sidetracked and caught up on things outside your existence, things that you cannot control. But what you can control is your perception. I had a real good friend, right, who, when I spoke to her, she would tell me, because she was trying to lose weight for a while. And I remember she would tell me, she would be like, I don't know what it is. This weight just won't come off. And oftentimes I would say is you got to be mindful of your words. If you saying stuff like, this won't happen, that'll never happen, yeah, but you don't know, it ain't going to turn out. If you saying stuff like that, in the words of my grandma, one of the things she used to say was, this thing in your mouth called the tongue could get you into trouble. You are casting spells on your damn self without you even being aware of it. And I would tell my good friend, I would say, listen, don't pay attention to the weight or the numbers. Okay? Pay attention and imagine yourself having that type of body that you say you want. But oftentimes, you also have to, for whatever it is that you want to achieve, you also have to pay attention to what you are tuning into. Because certain things may trigger you. Certain things you may watch or whatever, it may trigger you. So what I do, this is what I do. When I'm growing through something, okay, first off, I change my perception. That's the number one thing. I change my perception. Well, no, actually, first off, I feel those emotions. Like if I'm growing through something, I feel those emotions. That's the very first thing. The second thing is I become aware that I do not have to stay there. So therefore, I change my perception because we all have choices. Okay, we all have choices. The third thing is I start listening to stuff that is going to change my energy, vibration, and frequency. So I listen to inspirational stuff. And I'm not just listening to it for 1 day, 2 days. I'm going to keep on listening to it. I'm going to make it part of my life. It is part of my life. Okay. That's where sometimes I think we tend to go wrong, because when things are working for us, we stop doing the thing that helped us grow through whatever it is, whatever adversity and challenge that we was growing through. Right? And certain things are made for you to hold on to for a lifetime. Right? For me, I know I have to constantly study. Okay. Then the next step is, there's 3. The next step is 4, is affirming myself. Saying I am amazing, I am worthy, I am beautiful, I am confident, I am love, I am peace, I am a millionaire. I am doing the thing that I absolutely positively love. Okay, so I start speaking life into me. Okay. 5, I start paying attention to what I do want. Okay, I take my focus off of, what's going on until I start paying attention to what I do want. And what really helps me is me listening to stuff that's going into my subconscious mind that is going to change my perception even more than what I did. Okay. So, and then another thing you can do, step 5, I believe. Another thing that you can do is you could dance. Okay, if you want to see sunny days ahead, okay, now I'm not saying if you don't dance, you ain't going to see sunny days ahead. But if you want to move your energy, or if you want your energy and everything to change, maybe you experiencing some depression. If you want all of that to change, honey, some of the things you can do, you can dance. You can dance. That is an outlet as well. So, to the person that's out there, I know somebody had said to me yesterday on YouTube, they sent me a message and they said that their lights was off. I think they thought that my lights was off, but they were saying that their lights was off and that they have a child. Honey, let me tell you something. You're going to grow through this. You're going to grow through this. I know it may seem a certain type of way. It may seem scary. It may seem like you all by yourself. Okay. Checking with your source. Okay. Checking with your source. Whether you say God, Allah, water, honey, water. You can't get wet from saying water. Checking with your source, though. Everything is going to turn out amazing. You're going to see. You're going to see. Because certain things we go through, it is for us to grow through it and for us to see that what we doing, it ain't it. What I was doing, it wasn't it. So I had to start looking at myself and start taking accountability. See, that's the phenomenal thing. Once you start becoming aware of what you're doing, not what happened when you was a child or what happened, that you cannot control. But you can control what's going on in your life now. See, what happened to me when I was a child, okay, it was either one or two things when I grew up. Okay, and became an adult. Deena, you can focus on what happened to you when you was a child, or you can focus on how you want your life to become better. How you want better in your life. And you know what I chose? I chose I want better. You know what I chose? I deserve better. You know what I chose? My children, they deserve better. They worthy of way more. They worthy of more than this. And so I show up. I show up. Because you got to understand the power has always been with you. Always been with you. I don't care what adversity you may be growing through. The power has always been with you. Always. And so with that being said, I hope you guys got something from this, and I catch you guys on the next one. Peace.